Gus mentioned yesterday that he takes a lot of the fault for the offense not doing what it wants. And against Georgia, he praised you quite a bit after the A&M game for some good calls. How does the responsibility go around when there is a bad day? He's taking the blame one week and then...
I think it falls on all of us. Obviously, maybe the offensive coordinator, we got coaches, we do it as a group. We're a team, and the hardest thing as a coach is when your kids, they play hard and they fight, and we don't get it done. And so you always look at yourself and what could we have done better to help our guys. And this was a hard one. This one hurt. It hurt our kids, hurt our coaches, and so we all got to do a better job, and we all share in that loss.
There are moments you look back and wish you would have done something different?
There's no doubt, and that's the way any loss is. I mean, even when you play, back when I played, I mean, there's games I still remember if I'd just done this or done that, and the same thing as a coach. I think everybody's got to look at themselves, and we all do, and we're very critical of ourselves. And when we don't get the job done like we didn't Saturday, it's hard, it's tough, and so we've definitely looked at everything we could have done better, did do all that, and we're pushing forward, and we're trying to do a better job this week.
Rhett, the two questions that have been asked most often are, Gus said Tuesday that it was obvious Sean wasn't full speed. What was the thinking behind putting him out there 3 more times after the first time? And Jovan's averaging almost 10 yards a carry, only gets 4 carries in the second half.
Well, it was obvious after the fact. Sean practiced well on Thursday, and for the first time had pretty good pep in his step. He wasn't full speed. We knew that, but so going in there, we thought he could get out there and compete and protect himself and do some things. And we did have a plan to insert him and play him. Both guys knew that going into the game, and so we put him in there. And you don't want to put a guy in there for one series, and he's wanting to compete. And I think we went 3 and out that first series. We put him back in there. I put him in a bad situation that next series where we threw it 3 times and didn't get any yards. And I think that was the one time we had ran it just about every time on P&10. They'd been in a single high a lot, stopping the run, so we were just trying to get a quick completion to get some tempo going, and that didn't work. And so after a couple series, obviously we knew that he wasn't full strength, and also we weren't getting anything going, so we switched back to Jeremy, and with the answer to Javon and carries, with the exception of that first drive of the second half, we got 1 first down and then we stalled out. The next 3 or so drives, we went 3 and out. And the first half we weren't doing that. Even the drive we moved it off the 1 yard line and then we turned it over, we were getting some first downs, which allowed us to get tempo, allowed us to get more carries. And we didn't do that in the third quarter. We were very awful. We were pitiful. And even that first drive of the fourth quarter, I believe. And then when we did start getting something going, we were behind. And we're throwing the football more. And Peyton's a better pass protector. He's more experienced. He's done it more. And so that's probably why he was in there a little bit more at certain times.
Was Javon banged up? Could he play if he needed to?
Yeah, no, our guys are fine. And again, those guys were running it well. Our game plan was to run the football. We did that well in the first half. We did a poor job in the second half, and a big part of why they didn't get more carries is we weren't on the field because we weren't converting third downs.
How's Devontae look at center this week?
He's looked good. I was extremely proud of him, a kid who's never played that position really. About 5 weeks ago, we started working him in practice in that role. So, we didn't miss a beat much. He did a really good job. There was even a couple plays he had not ever even repped in practice, just unique plays, and he knew what to do. He executed well, and so I think for the most part, for him to go in and us to, be able to operate our offense without a big noticeable difference was huge for us and for him. And obviously, now that with Austin being banged up, it's good he's getting more reps, and hopefully he'll get better.
He still make the calls, or does it go over to Alex or somebody else?
No, he still does. And Devontae's a really smart young man. That's why he's kind of the guy we decided to turn to in that. He could play the guard positions, he could play center, and he's a senior. So
Is Robert left the first team left tackle this week with Sean down?
if Sean can't go, and that's still a questionable deal. He's getting better, and we'll probably know more closer to game time. But yeah, we got a lot of confidence in Robert. You know, when Sean was out for a little bit the other day, he went in, it was on the touchdown drive to start the game, and the touchdown play with carry-on was even a double team behind Robert. So, you know, Robert's gotten to play a lot this year too, which has helped, and he's doing a nice job, particularly in the run game.
You think he can be a full-time left tackle and be that good pass blocker, or do you think he has a right tackle or guard type?
We've been repping him, you know, mainly behind Sean in practice. Now, he can play either side. He's a smart kid. You know, he's probably a better run blocker than pass blocker, but he's doing a nice job in pass pro too.
But if he had to be the starting left tackle next
Yeah, he's going to be the guy. Yeah, yeah, he can do it.
Rhett, going into this week, what do you look for out of your team? Obviously, win, do those things, but anything specifically you're looking for out of the offense heading into Saturday?
You know, obviously we want to score more points. You know, we want to finish drives and convert and get some tempo going. It's easy when, you know, last year I think we were 7-1, we were playing well, and we lost a game, you know, that was a hard one to lose, and it took a lot out of our guys. But when you're having good seasons and things happen, you know, and a little bit of adversity hits, you know, a lot of times guys can move through it and all that. We've had a lot of close calls this year. There's been a lot of close, frustrating disappointments. And what I've noticed so far this year with our guys, and not just on offense, the whole team, that's been humbling and really speaks a lot about those kids is even after those gut-wrenching defeats, whoever you want the responsibility to be on, okay? It stinks for a day or two. You come back and they've really competed and practiced hard and come back and they've played hard every game. And they've fought and they've stayed together. And it's hard to do that over the long haul in this league, especially when you can't quite break through at certain times. And then you'll have one and then you suffer another setback. They've played hard. They've fought. They've stuck together. So I look for them to do the same. You know, playing for a lot. These seniors got 2 more home games. You know, we want them to go to a bowl game, and we want them to get that winning feeling that we had 2 weeks ago. So I look for our guys to come out and play hard and compete, and let's get a win.
With so much stock in Jeremy, obviously, in the preseason and the years leading up, and what's happened at the quarterback position this year with Tom, do you believe that your starting quarterback for the future next season is on campus right now?
Could be. I don't really want to go there. I'd like to finish this season first. It's a fair question. You know, I think from Sean's side of things, he was getting a lot better, and then the injuries have hit him. I think from Jeremy's standpoint, there's a lot of people that don't go through something that he's had to go through. You know, to have all the weight of the world and those expectations at that young of an age, it not go the way you want it to, okay? Endure a lot of criticism. And then, you know, push through it, come back, get an opportunity. I mean, lead us to a big win at A&M. And for him to compete and still be competing, and he had a phenomenal day today, you know, just the attitude that he's had, to me, speaks a lot of the young man that he is. And regardless of what happens for his future, okay, it's going to bode well for him in life. So I'd like to focus on those 2 guys right now that are here. But it's a fair question.
Rhett, is Jason Smith, I mean, is he healthy at the moment?
Yeah.
I mean, is it, I guess as much as we've heard about him in the spring and preseason, has it been surprising you guys haven't maybe been able to work him more into the offense? I mean, I think total he's got 2 carries this season, he's got 9 catches. I mean, I think 11 games seemed like you would think he maybe had more than one touch a game.
Well, we're not a stat machine, as I've said before. Unfortunately, this year we're not very good at a lot of those statistical areas. You know, Jason did transition to another position, and he's done some good things for us. So he's still a big part of what we're trying to do, and hopefully these next few games he'll double those stats or something for you.
We've heard a lot about the message being this week, let's get full eligible.
Mm-hmm.
How important are those 15 extra practices in developing young guys going into the future in the spring?
They're huge. I mean, you hear that all the time, but it really is huge because that's like a whole nother spring practice. For your younger guys in particular, whether they're guys that are redshirting that aren't playing this year but they still get more time, whether it's guys that have played a little bit, but it's huge for us as coaches. It's also a huge reward for the older guys, especially those seniors. Bowl games are fun. They're meant to be fun. You know, they get the cool gifts and all that, but But more importantly, you just want to win and go out the right way. And that's what I talked to offense on Sunday, and we did again on Monday, is we got to finish well. Okay, the season has been up and down. It's been frustrating for a lot of us. But how you finish matters, and finishing well matters. Last year, at times we did some good things. We didn't finish the way we wanted to. Even the year before, we played for the national championship, but we were 13 seconds away from finishing how we wanted to. So how we finish will say a lot about how those kids feel about this season at the end. And so we're just trying to finish well, and that starts with this game this week. Yeah, if we win, it gets us bowl eligible, and that's good. But we just need to get a win for these guys.
Assuming that Javon and Peyton kind of continue to be the workhorses back there, what's Rock Thompson's role?
Rock's good. Nothing wrong with Rock. He was slowed by those injuries off and on with the foot and those things. And when that happened, Peyton kind of emerged. And then about the time he was getting back, Javon emerged. So it's nothing against Rock. He still has a lot of ability and brings a lot to the table. And I expect him to play some on Saturday. But those other two guys, just with the injuries, it kind of got him a little behind those two guys. That's really all there is to it.
Do you think he has the skill set to move to the slot in the future possibly?
Well, Rock has a skill set to do a lot of things. I still think he could be a really good running back. If he can stay healthy, he can do a lot of good things. He's got some skills, some quickness, some agility, things that other guys don't have. He does catch the ball very well. He's a really good athlete. So, there's a lot of things he can do. Him and Carrion are in that mold. They can do a lot of things to get on the field and play. So, we'll see how that works moving forward.
Rhett, for this game, is Avery going to be your backup center?
He could be. If we go with Danzy and Austin's probably pretty doubtful at this point, can't go, then Avery's taking some snaps. We've got some other guys that we're working as well, but Avery's a smart guy, and you really think about it, we're on our third center at this point. So pretty much any of those linemen, it's snapping tryouts, who can snap, But yeah, Avery is smart enough and is capable of doing it.
What do you make play your H-backs this season?
Up and down, Bubba Petway has been slowed by Stinger off and on at times, so I think at times he hadn't been as physical as he was really physical against San Jose State, and we really thought he was turning the corner, and then he got a stinger the next game, so he's done some good things, but that's hampered him a little bit. Chandler just needs a year in the offseason in the weight room. He's a really good football player. He's in good position. He just needs a little more punch behind him. I still think those guys are going to be really good players, but they're young. We had a true freshman and a redshirt freshman playing their first time, so I'd like to think they're only going to get better, but at times they've done some really good things. At times they've done some freshman things.
Throughout your playing career, coaching career, you haven't been a part of seasons like this. How are you handling it, and how's it affected you?
Well, no one likes losing, and no one likes, not getting the results you want. All you can do is, when you're in the season, it's kind of a fog. You just go from one game to the next. If you win, within 12, 24 hours, you're on to the next thing. If you lose, it's the same thing. And, you can't let the losses linger and wear you down, and you can't let the wins, make you feel too good about yourself. And so in the season, the good thing sometimes is you have to go on to that next game. So you don't get to sit and sulk or pout or, think about it too much. So, really, after Monday, I was able to get ready on Idaho. After the season, probably able to look back and what could be done better and all that. But, life is like that. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want, and we just got to push through it. And we got good kids. This is a great place. We got great fans. We just got to push through it.
Has the work been harder because you guys have had to adjust so much throughout the season? Quarterbacks, the offense, and things you do day to day?
I don't think it's been harder. We work hard regardless, because if you're winning, then the stakes get higher, and then when you're struggling, you really are working as hard as you can to try to fix it and right the ship. So it's been about the same. Obviously the frustration level, not with anybody or anything, just want these guys to do well so much, and nobody wants them to win and play well worse than us and them, and so the workload's probably not any different. We just got to find a way to have a breakthrough, and that's what we're still working for.
Have you guys kind of been able to sit down and go, like you said, like, where did this go wrong, or what kind of happened, or are you on a kind of a week by week kind of thing?
Yeah, we know you know, we have a good idea of what's been transpiring throughout the season, and we're just worried about our team each week and trying to get that next game, do the best we can this week to win this game. That's all we've been worried about.
What do you guys need to do to get your vertical passing game more effective?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. I mean, we need to hit some explosive pass plays down the field. We've talked about that this week even. You know, obviously we're more of a running team right now. That's what our strength is. So we've got to do that. But you know, we do. We need to. We still call some of them. We just gotta throw them. We gotta catch them. We gotta execute them. We gotta call them at the right time in the right situation. It's a lot of things. But an explosive pass play certainly takes some pressure off that running game.
Rhett, last season, you know, we heard that, last season we heard, at least on the scout team, that Austin was showing a lot of good things, and that was maybe how you guys thought, hey, he could potentially move. What have you seen from Darius James, you know, this season, while he's been able to?
You know, he's been on the scout team a lot, so he hadn't been with me as much. But you know, like Coach Garner sees him more than JB and I do. And it's funny, actually, we were talking about him today with Coach G, and he's been pleased with his skill set and the way he's working. He's lost some weight, so I think having time with Ryan Russell's really helped him. We'll probably know more. It goes back to that bowl practice. You know, we'll get a lot more time to work with him, more hands-on in that bowl practice, and then obviously in the spring. But we're glad he's here, and I think he'll have a chance to make an impact in the spring.
Wes, are you?
Yeah, Peyton Barber closing in on 1,000 yards this season. Is that something that the offense, you know, is that a goal of the offense every year to put out 1,000 yard rusher?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I think we've done it every year for the most part, and so we'd love to do it. We'd love to win more than we'd love to do that, but we'd love to do it. And really for Peyton, I mean, there's not a better kid on our team. There's not a kid who would deserve it and you'd want it to happen for more than him. And we got some other really good kids, but Peyton's just such a hard worker. You know, he doesn't complain. He's quiet. He just goes about his business. And he's been that guy this year that at a lot of times when we need someone to step up, he's done it. And so it'd be neat to see him finish with 1,000 yards this year. And if that happens, that's probably a good thing for us winning games too.